Well, hello to you. Blessings, greetings. Beautiful to be with you. I looked at the schedule, and the next two groups are on Christmas and on New Year's Day, and I'm just going to be busy with my family then. So I apologize, but I'll miss you, and we'll be back just after the holidays. But I'll still be doing satsang, so satsang will be normally as scheduled. So we are going into the holidays, and I want to bring up this topic with Kundalini Awakening or spiritual awakening in general. You all, each of you, is going through something big, something massive, and you're having these huge energetic shifts. And your family will not understand that. It will not make sense to them. They will not be good support people for you. And so if we all rush back home and see the family and say, I am the Buddha, I am awakening, I'm in this new level of consciousness, they're probably going to look at us like we're crazy. If we go back and say, I have all this energy in my spine and I feel like I'm going insane and I'm seeing these astral entity visions, don't expect any support from your family. When we engage with family, you should expect your family to project your old self onto your current self and your current experience. It's just what families do, it's what tribes do. It's what the brain does, to live in a very efficient life is just to project. It's always projecting. And so, especially with family, and I'm going to invite us to use the Harry Potter model here of, there's wizards and there's muggles. And so when you go into the normal world, if you share the hugeness of your experience, you're going to be misunderstood. And for many of us who haven't, fully stepped into a total autonomous, realization of Buddha nature, that's going to hurt. It's going to hurt when you're going through something big and people don't understand you. When they project onto you or they diagnose you with paranoid schizophrenia or bipolar disorder or, just call you crazy. Just call you crazy. And there's just something about being human that we want to share. We want to share our experience. Now, I was once just hanging out in line at the natural food store, and I heard this young girl speaking. She was a college girl, and she was just talking to one of her friends on the phone. And she was obviously from Texas, like it's something we can really spot here in Colorado. Someone is obviously from Texas, they have this big accent. And so she's going on and on to her friend in Texas, how cool she will be when she goes home with her new Jeep with her Colorado license plate. And she's going to show all the friends how cool she is because now she's a Colorado native. Well, for those of us who are waking up spiritually, we want to go and we want to share this light with the world. We want to share it with our friends and our family. Or sometimes it's just our friends and family ask us, hey, how have you been? How have you been? And, we might be like, I've been in my room imploding into the void. And, it's our friends are going to be like, what the fuck? What kind of thing is going on with you? And again, like when I was young, and like when I was young and I moved out to Colorado, I did the same thing that the girl from Texas did when I went back to, my family in Kentucky. Like me and my little brother went back and we were big hippies and we had dreadlocks and beards in our hair. And, we had tried every different type of, psychedelic substance there was. And we climbed mountains and snowboarded and saw, wild animals and bears and this and that. And so when we'd go home, we like to overwhelm our friends, our muggle friends who were just living a normal life in the suburbs, still with their parents. We'd share all these adventures we went on, and we thought we were so cool. And in a sense, we were pretty cool. But, but we humans have this thing where we want to share. And I'm just going to caution you. I'm going to caution you. If you share too much with people who don't understand, you're going to feel unseen and unheard. And they'll probably project on you. And so I'm going to caution this. I'm going to caution. The next thing, I'm going to say is if you do share, I always recommend not sharing, just keeping your experience to yourself with your family, just like they don't need to know. It'll only confuse them. But if you do share, you want to start with a question: is what I'm sharing, is it going to be helpful for the people I'm sharing it to? And the way Jesus said this is we don't throw pearls before swine. I know that's kind of a brutal thing to say, but we don't want to confuse the people around us. We don't want to receive their confusion. So anytime you engage with another human being, you can ask, is it helpful what I'm sharing? Another question for discernment is this person helpful? Is this person I'm sharing to or with, is this person emotionally intelligent? Are they going to be able to grasp what I'm saying or experiencing? And again, often the answer is no. And so it's a good reason to keep it to ourselves. Now, if you do want to share, sometimes I've learned to share things using words that other people will understand. And so instead of telling people I'm having Kundalini Kriyas, I might say, hey, I've got a lot of anxiety right now. And, I know it's not anxiety, but I just share with words in a translation that they can understand. So another discernment we can ask ourselves is, what is it in me that is wanting to share or that is needing to share? What is it in me? What's going on in myself that I'm looking for validation outside of myself? So on the spiritual path, one of the tenets of someone who's awake is they're not looking for outside validation. The Buddha doesn't need validation from his followers. The Buddha finds validation in his heart, in his hara. And so now I'm going to shift a little bit and shift the topic into shadow work, because I said I'd speak about that. But I wanted just to acknowledge that for many of us who travel, many of us are dealing with family, just make sure you do everything you can to take care of yourself, to make sure you're getting the alone time. If you can drive your own car, drive your own car. If you can get your own room or hotel room or whatever, that's best. It's best to stay for a shorter period of time instead of longer. It's best not to share too much with friends and family. But we want to make sure we're taking care of ourselves. Okay.